श्रीमती विजिला सत्यम.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, sir. The Union Cabinet has approved the extension of President's rule in Jammu and Kashmir for a further period of 6 months with effect from July 3rd, 2019 under Article 356, subclass 4 of the Constitution of India. This is likely to be the last extension of the central rule in the state, as the Election Commission has issued a statement recently stating that elections in Jammu Kashmir would be announced after the annual Amarnath Yatra beginning on July 1st. The present term of President's rule is expiring on July 2nd, and the Governor has recommended that the President rule in the state may be extended to a further period of 6 months. The President's role during the imposition will be based on the report prepared by the affected state's governor. The President will now exercise those powers that are approved by both the houses of Parliament. Actually, imposition of President's rule is nothing new to India. It has happened many times. Indian states have faced the President's rule to a total of 124 times in the past. And there is also a Ministry of Home Affairs have given a response to a thing. President's rule was imposed maximum number of times in Uttar Pradesh, 10 times, and in Punjab it was more than 3,000 days. So now BJP and PDP were the two different ideologies, where one believed in the strict action against the terror forces, that is the BJP, and the other defended the stone pelleters and let the terrorists walk free. Coming on to the imposition of governor's rule, it is merely the governor's control over the state. There is no political drama in this. Hence, the central government will effectively work in the state, and the army will get freedom to carry on the operations to drag out the terror forces from Kashmir. So, governor's rule will bring with itself the pressure of re-elections from the various opposition parties also. But the governor's rule is necessary after all the mess experienced in Jammu and Kashmir in the recent times. So it is needed, I support it. And the debate continues over unfettering the state and granting them some sort of autonomy. Autonomy is decided not only by the valley. Jammu and Ladakh are seeking regional autonomy within the same narrow confines. But with the Sunni dominated valley holding the entire state to ransom, it stands to reason the other divisions also inquires to be unshackled. But what constitutes this so-called autonomy within the purview of the Indian Constitution as well as Article 370 gives special status to the state enshrined in the same Constitution. Indian Prime Ministers have spoken of to be an architecture within the confines of the same Constitution. It is a 70-year-old issue, and Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao, before the then Prime Minister, said in the Parliament, so far as granting autonomy to the state of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned, only sky is the limit. In this context, the Constitution of our country has a lot of room and short of azadi. We are ready to give anything. Now, our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, says he is willing to architect a permanent solution within the boundaries of the Constitution, because it is a humanitarian issue also. And when the all-party visits, there was all-party delegation from 2010 onwards, there were past 6 years have gone, and now recently also there was an all-party delegation which visited the valley. And there was another opinion said by the chairman of the All Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee, stating that this is not a mere political dispute. India should look as it is a humanitarian issue. Sentiments in the valley are for freedom, and India ought to respect that. Sitting in Kashmir, we come to the conclusion that the people of India are so ill-informed about Kashmir. Kashmir is also, this dispute is also time to call a spade a spade. So this was one sort of thing. The instrument of accession itself, executed in October 1947, was under which Maharaja Hari Singh handed over the state to India. There were 3 specific clauses, and that, along with the Delhi Agreement of July 1952, which also had the salient features of the hereditary Dogra dynasty will be abolished, and there are so many clauses. These two, and along with there is no difference of opinion with the respect of the accession of state with India on 2 main issues. One is the instrument of accession and the Delhi Agreement. The rest of the powers, including residual sovereignty, are vested with the state under Article 370. All the princely states were authorized to frame their own constitution in their respective constituent assemblies. At that time, only 4 states, namely Saurashtra, Travancore, Cochin, Mysore and Jammu Kashmir, chose this option and set up their own constituent assemblies. 3 of these states did not frame their constitution, and only Jammu and Kashmir formed its own constituent assembly and framed its constitutions, which exist till today. Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has 2-pronged approach may well work through mainstreaming the separatists and empowering a newly elected government to open a dialogue with the people and the hardliners. So now we are on the right path. The permanent solution that our Prime Minister wants to do would materialize under the theory of elasticity, expanding the scope and size of autonomy. And I am sure that a Prime Minister would bring a meaningful break from the past and lead a way for a transformative solution. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
Thank you.